IUR Radio.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Jack and Eddie Show. This is episode 6. Today we have some interesting topics. We have, it's March. It's March, huge time for sports. Arguably my favorite time of year for sports. The NCAA tournament coming up.
Yeah.
The MAC tournament is underway this Thursday. Iona is playing. They're set to face Sacred Heart. And Sacred Heart is a 9 seed. Iona is an 8 seed. So they gotta win that game to go up against Merrimack on Saturday. Merrimack is the number 1 seed. So that is going to be very interesting. It's going to be an interesting weekend. We'll see if the Gales can get it done. But I don't know if you have a team in mind you could see coming out of the MAC and making March Madness.
I don't really have a team. Just because I'm not, I don't really focus too much for Iona's men's basketball, and nothing against them, just not the most talented team I've ever watched. Yeah. But I'm rooting for them, obviously.
We're rooting for Iona.
Yeah, if they don't they should beat Sacred Heart, but I mean, hopefully they advance far.
They should beat Sacred Heart. Merrimack, I have an interesting note on. Iona played them during the regular season and only lost by, I think, 1 or 2 in both games. So they've showed that they can compete with that team. Yeah. There's a lot of pressure down in Atlantic City. This is they're on the bigger stage now. So we'll see if Iona can get it done. I'm rooting for Iona, but it's tough. There's a lot of pressure. Marist is a good team.
Yeah.
It's tough. I want to say Iona is gonna beat Sacred Heart and they will face Merrimack, and that's kind of a toss-up.
Yeah, man.
So I mean,
for sure,
Merrimack is supposed to win. So we'll see. We'll see if the Gales can pull up an upset.
Yeah.
Moving on, we got some Knicks basketball and we have some World Baseball Classic stuff to go over. I think we'll end with the Knicks. We'll jump right into the World Baseball Classic. What do you got there? What do you got, Ed?
Yeah, I'll just I'm gonna list off the 3 big teams in Team USA, Team Japan, and the DR. They're the 3 powerhouses that one of those 3 teams are most likely gonna win.
Yeah.
I'll give you the Team USA lineup. You got Bobby Witt at short, Harper at first, Judge and right, Schwarber DHing, Bregman at third, Cal catching, Roman Anthony in left, Buxton in center, and Bryce Terang at second. That's the lineup that they put out yesterday. But you even guys on the bench: Gunnar Henderson, Pete Crow Armstrong, Will Smith, Goldschmidt, Ernie Clement, and then with your starters in Polskin, Skubal, Nolan McLean, Logan Webb, and bullpen Bendar, Mason Miller, Clay Holmes, etc. They're a stacked team. That team is really good, led by Captain Aaron Judge. But watching the game yesterday, 15-1.
Yeah.
Blew them out.
Yeah. It was a scrimmage, but they destroyed them. Another team is Team DR, Dominican Republic. They're stacked too. I'll announce their lineup.
Yeah.
Leading off is Tatis in right, Soto in left, Vladdy at first, Junior Caminario in the DH spot, batting fourth, Ketel Marte at second, Manny Machado at third, Julio Rodriguez out in center, Austin Wells from the New York Yankees behind the dish, and Jeremy Payne.
Yeah, Payne. Yeah, he spells it weird.
It's spelled weird, yeah. And their bench, Perdomo, Yainer Diaz, Devers, Teoscar Hernandez. And also their pitching, their starting pitching is Sandy Alcantara, Luis Severino, Brian Bello, Christopher Sanchez. I would say the main difference between those 2 teams is obviously the starting pitching. I think like Team USA, their starting pitching is definitely
100%. I was just gonna say, I think
DR does have some bats.
Their lineup is probably better.
Yeah.
Just looking at, I mean, Tatis, Soto, Vladdy, Marte, Julio's batting seventh for them. It's crazy. That outfield alone
Yeah.
in Julio, Soto, and Tatis is just insane. Ketel Marte is one of my favorite players that's not on the Yankees. I think he's just such a beast. And
Right. Switch hitter too.
yeah, I think our bullpen though, our starters and our bullpen just, I think we have better pitching in general. So,
Yeah.
it's gonna be it's gonna be really, really fun though to see. I hope these two teams face each other throughout this.
Yeah. I mean, good pitching versus good hitting.
Yeah.
Good pitching is gonna win. So
And then Team Japan, who you're not gonna know a lot of these names, but I mean, they're all like that kind of same player. They all have the Shohei Ohtani, Lars Nootbaar, who's on the Cardinals, Seiya Suzuki, who's on the Cubs, Muataka Murakami, who just signed with the White Sox. You have Kazuma Okamoto, who was a top 5 power hitter in Japan this previous year. Masataka Yoshida, who's on the Red Sox, and then a bunch of guys I don't know of. And then you have Yamamoto, who's going to be pitching. So they're the reigning champs from a couple years ago. I think it was 23, and it's gonna be those top 3 teams are the teams to watch for and to see who's gonna take home some gold.
But we have USA.
Yeah,
That's
of course.
That's our prediction there.
Of course.
So yeah, moving on. The Knicks, they've been playing some good basketball. They beat the Spurs on Sunday, 114 holding to 89, holding them to just 89 points, which is I'm liking. I'm seeing some defense, I'm seeing some effort, some more aggressiveness, which is what we were talking about in the last episode.
Yeah.
Also, a key piece lately has been Mohamed Diawara, number 51.
Yes, my boy Diawara.
Mm-hmm.
He's been a beast. I think he shot like 13 threes the other night.
13.
He didn't make obviously all of them. I think he shot 4 of 13, but he's been playing really well. I mean, just the confidence I see in him is he's getting the ball and without hesitation he's shooting it, and I like it because I've seen it. He's a good 3-point shooter.
Right.
He plays good defense. The Knicks really got a steal out of this kid because even like me and Jack are big Knicks fans. I never heard of he's obviously a rookie, but I didn't even know we drafted this guy in the second round. We were just making fun of him. Oh my goodness, this 51 guy, he's terrible.
Like,
he's really been playing well. He really has been.
Diawara the difference.
Yeah.
He's been key in some games coming off the bench. And like you said, he's a solid shooter. I'm not even mad. He shot 4 of 13 from 3, which obviously isn't good, but the fact that I heard in interviews his teammates, coaching staff, they want him taking those shots.
Yeah, they do.
Even if they're not falling that night, it's good to see that he's confident in his shooting abilities.
And he's shooting 40-something. He's shooting 44% from the field, and he's also shooting 40% from 3, which if you're shooting 40% from 3 in this league, I don't care how many minutes you're playing. It's really impressive. So
even last night, I mean, he shot well. I think he shot 3 of 6.
Yeah, I'll check right now. Last night he shot 3 of 6 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3 in 19 minutes. 8 points. I just love the confidence he has that he's been showing. He doesn't necessarily drive to the basket a lot, but just for a guy to kick it out to shoot a 3, he's been really good in that role for us, and he's been giving us important minutes. We were talking about it last. I don't know. I think he got 8 minutes in the loss. Who was the last game they lost to? That was a pathetic loss. Let me see. But whoever it was, I'll tell you right now. It was the Cavs. It was against the Cavs. He played 8 minutes, and I was like, why is this guy playing 8 minutes when your starters aren't getting the job done?
He can rebound too.
Yeah, exactly. He's 6. I think he's 6'9". He has, he's a tremendous. I think he's going to be a really good play for us in the future. I'm very excited for him. I'm excited that he's getting this opportunity because if this was Tom Thibodeau, he wouldn't even be smelling minutes.
Right.
He'd probably be in the G League all season. So I'm glad Mike Brown has the confidence in him, he started a lot of games this year for us when Anunoby's been out or Hart's been out. So I'm really looking forward to seeing him develop for the rest of the year. And he's gonna be he is gonna be a key factor in whether we, make a run.
Right, right. I mean, last night versus the Raptors, one quick note, Knicks also, I thought, moved the ball a lot better. They
Mhm.
spaced the floor a lot better.
Yeah.
They had 32 assists, and they averaged 27 on the year. So, I
Yeah.
mean, that's always good to see. That starts with Brunson, Cat too. Cat was getting hit with the double team, but
Yeah.
with his size, he was working hard to get the ball over. I actually have a couple clips from what Mike Brown, head coach Mike Brown, had to say after the game last night. So let's take a listen to what Mike Brown had to say talking about Cat and the Knicks defense. One sec. And it's not gonna
Probably gonna play the best team in the NBA Nick, tomorrow. It's whatever 19 game stretch. I mean, how much? I know Cat isn't known for his defense, but how much of his improved defense here during this stretch has kind of helped that?
No, it's been huge. Again, I say this all the time. One guy can't guard one other guy in the league. It's almost impossible, especially when they do call fouls. In the way the floor is spaced, it's tough to do that. And so you have to have five guys on a string. And the game right now is space and pace. And everybody looks at Cat like, oh, he can't do it. Blah, blah. Well, he can do it, and he's showing he can do it. And
He can't do it.
We need him to continue to do it, whether it's in the pick and roll, getting back in transition, coming over to help from the weak side, or guarding this guy in a one-on-one situation. He's been fantastic, but he's also been really good at communicating out on the floor. I can hear him talking very loud and early. And continuous with the coverages, because usually your big sees everything because he's on the backside. So give Cat a lot of credit for stepping up his game on that end of the floor as well as the rest of the team.
So he's praising Cat. I agree with half of that.
Yeah.
I want to start on the first.
I
half.
completely disagree with that statement.
Hot take there.
I've seen one game of maybe him playing. Every now and then he plays some decent defense, but he said something there about everyone sees Cat and
Says he can't do it.
he can't do it.
He's
It's
been
because
inconsistent.
he can't do it. He's not good at defense. What they did to him in the postseason last year was the most pathetic thing I've ever seen in my entire life. He was getting set in a pick and roll. You've been playing professional basketball for 30 something, 20 something years, and you can't get around the pick and roll. It's the most easiest thing to do. And you're a big guy, I get it, but use your size. I mean, that take really just bothered me.
Yeah, I figured I had to throw that.
Yeah.
The point I would. Yeah, I agree. I think there's definitely been a lot of inconsistency this year. To say he's been fantastic, I believe you just said. I don't know about that, but he did make one point about him being very vocal. I've noticed that through the TV. I'm hearing him screaming, calling things out, which is always, I guess, good. But
yeah, to that point, the only thing I hear him really do is complain and cry like a little, to the refs, and
he does complain.
So, I think Mike Brown there was just trying to, get Cat a little motivated and,
Right.
On his side, because there was a lot of rumors at the deadline between those two, not liking each other. So maybe that's a confidence thing, because I'm not afraid to say it. Karl-Anthony Towns is horrendous. I mean, I really don't want him on my basketball team. He's just not a winning player. That's not a player I like. If anyone thinks that's a player that it could win a championship, and he could be a 1 or 2 on that team, you're just lying to yourself. He's not that guy. He's been playing better, but I just can't deal with the crying like a little baby, and it's no defense, no hustle. He has been getting a lot of rebounds, leading the league in rebounds, but I'm over him. I've seen the Karl-Anthony Towns experiment. It didn't work in Minnesota. There's a reason we traded him. I mean, they traded him, and It's not working in New York, so
Yeah, I'm trying to look at the positives. I mean, offensively, he's been, I'd say, slightly better. 10 of
Mhm.
17 last night. Grabbed 12 boards. I mean, that's always nice, but
yeah. No, the offense has been a little more consistent.
the offense has been better, but
But
we're
still,
not going to win game. Like,
no.
defense is what's winning games here.
Yeah.
So we need him to really be physical defensively. So
Yeah.
speaking of that, huge game tonight versus OKC at the
Mhm.
Garden. They got two bigs on that team. That is going to be a tough task for the Knicks. I think it's definitely going to tell us something here if we could keep up with this, if we could beat this team, because they're, I believe, 48 and like 15 on the year.
Yeah.
They're defending champs with MVP SGA as starting at guard. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be a tough task. I don't know. What do you think tonight? What are some keys to this
I mean,
game?
Mitch is probably not playing because
Yeah.
he played last night, which again, a little interesting coaching decision there. Why not play him against the best team in the NBA? But
Mhm.
besides the point, depends what kind of Knicks we're getting.
Right. We don't know.
Depends what
The
kinds of
grab
Knicks
bag
we're
again.
getting. Yeah, the grab bag.
Maybe if Cat has a really good game, Brunson has a good game. Like,
Yeah, I'm like, even, we were saying the grab bag analogy with Cat. I'm just going straight New York Knicks because the games they play, it's like we've been saying all year. It's their highs are so high and their
Mhm.
lows are so low.
right.
The inconsistency is just really the biggest thing about this team
Like,
is
last night was, I would say it was a high for them because they
Yeah.
played good defense,
Yeah.
held them to 95 points. Even against the Spurs too, they held them
you have
to
this.
89.
How much did Bridges have last night? I just wanna.
Bridges, he had 11, but it was on 4 of 7 shooting,
Okay,
1 for 2
okay.
from 3. Like,
No, I was just wondering. I
Yeah,
was
like,
just making sure.
he played a decent game.
Yeah.
OG played a good game,
Yeah.
5 of 6 shooting, had a phenomenal first half, and then we just didn't see him shoot the ball the second
Yeah.
half. But yeah, I mean, I also have one more clip of Mike Brown speaking after the game last night on
Yeah.
what their plans are with OKC. So we'll see. Let's take a listen.
We're going to play the best team in the NBA Nick, tomorrow. You're looking at that as kind of a bar to see where you guys stack up against a team that's had the best record for so long.
Yeah, but again, it's just the same thing. I mean, if they beat us at the end of the day, if we beat them at the end of the day, what does it really mean? But you can. They do a lot of things well on both ends of the floor, and so from the standpoint of okay, it's really good defense, really good offense. They got an MVP candidate. They got 2 bigs. They have some good individual defenders. How are we going to be able to handle the stuff that they do on both ends of the floor? And and if we get stuck here, we get stuck there. It's an opportunity to continue to grow.
All right. Well,
Opportunity to grow. They gotta listen. That would be a statement. It's a statement win tonight. If they win, statement win. It's gonna be I think it's either gonna be a blowout or it's gonna be a close game.
Well, yeah, and that's the issue is like against these good teams, like the Thunder, like the Celtics. I mean, the Celtics we have beaten, but the Pistons, like when we lose to these teams, it's never a close game.
Mhm.
We lose by 20 something points.
Right.
Like, listen, I understand you're not going to win 82 games in a season, but it's about how you play the teams in the regular season that you'll see in the postseason.
Right.
That matters to me. You can't lose these games. And I heard him say, what's it matter? Like if we win or we lose, it matters
does
the
matter.
way how you play against the team. Like right now, my confidence against them, against Detroit, all-time low. I might put $100,000 on that we can't beat them in the playoffs. That's how they've been
Especially
playing against them.
What Cunningham did in the
Yeah.
Garden against them.
And without their 2 centers.
Yeah.
I mean, you just gotta be better than that. Yeah. I mean, you have to be able to at least play a close game against these teams where in the fourth when you go into the fourth quarter, the game's not over.
Yeah.
And the
Exactly.
games have been over.
Right. And like you said earlier, key factor here is no Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah.
So that just hurts my confidence when going into this game. We are at home. We're pretty bad on the road. We're going on a 5-game road trip after this game. So I mean, I don't know. I'm not really that confident, but I guess my hopeful prediction is a Jalen Brunson game winner, 115 to 113.
All right, there you go. Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, hopefully we win. I'll say like 110 to like 105 or something. I don't really know. But I think on to the same Knicks topic. It just came through my head to do this idea that I think we should start doing. It's roasting the clowns in our comments on TikTok. And this was it was a clip about us talking about Bridges and Mike Brown. But one fan goes, "Hold on, 1 second. Let me find it because this one guy was really got me upset." Hold on 1 sec. Is this it? Y'all better when your starters are all on the court healthy. Y'all presented an individual as a scapegoat in your argument when success is dependent upon a team group effort. Just chill because y'all better spot than most. Maybe y'all get hot in the playoffs like Indy did last year. That wasn't that. Oh, here was the bad one. This is about Mikal Bridges, he was saying. He's a valuable wing defender that can create his own shot and is elite from the corner. His days as the number one option in Brooklyn brought more volume but low efficiency. This year, he's shooting 50% from the field, 38% from three, no ball before hopping on the mic. And then was saying basically how he's having a decent year. If you could sit here and say that Mikal Bridges is having a good year, you're just crazy to me. And he has his good games. Don't get me wrong. He's had his good games throughout the year. But like we've been saying all year, I'm looking at it right now. He's scoring 15 a game. But like he's not been great on defense this year. He really hasn't. I've been seeing like when he guards like a Cade Cunningham, he's just not strong enough to guard a guy like that. He just abuses him. He's been getting abused in the paint area a lot. Against the bigger guards that he is guarding, but he's just not having a good year offensively too. Like he throws up rocks. Like you can't sit here and say that he's been shooting the ball well. Like he has not been shooting the ball well.
I was gonna say I question a lot of his decision making too.
Yeah,
I'll see some shots, very questionable shots. Contested threes, fading away threes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He's got to make some better decisions.
Yeah, no, it's terrible.
All around.
Yeah, and then another one says, how soon you guys forget the reason we beat the Celtics last year? Bridges. Yeah, last year. I wasn't talking about last year. I'm talking about this year, buddy. We're in the present. Last year, and guess what? We didn't win. We lost to Indy because the defense lacked. The offense lacked. So I'm talking about this year, Mikal Bridges, who has not been playing great offensively, who has taken a big step down defensively. So, yes, and I like him. I want him to be better, but he's got to play better basketball.
Another one, when he's on, and we know he could be good, man. So
we know he can. That's the annoying part.
We need him to step up. Like on a night like tonight versus the best team in the NBA. Yeah. Everyone's got to be playing at their best. At the highest. I want a playoff caliber
in the Garden.
Yeah, in the Garden. It's going to be electric. They got to all play good. Cat, I don't want to see fouled out in the third quarter. Also, he's got to limit the fouls. We need him in the game.
So, yeah. Well, is that it?
I think that's going to do it for today's episode.
Play better basketball, Knicks.
Yes. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. See you next week.